Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Wyatt, and I'm a member of the American Orthodontic Society, and I'm board certified, and I'm a general dentist, but I've been doing nothing but orthodontics for probably the last 40 some odd years. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about resorption, of how the teeth eat away one another and do very odd things. This is a real unusual case. This young man came in and he had an upper left cuspid that came in across a lateral and then cut about a third of the lateral's root off, or maybe a fourth, and about 2/3 or more of the central, and the cuspid is just setting up on top of them. Now, I could not figure any earthly way to bring that cuspid in the mouth, so I'm going to show it to be a short video on resorption, though. This is another view of this young man. Let's see, I have to get my little dot back up there. Uh, but anyway, uh, he just doesn't have a great smile on these pictures. I'm sorry, that's the only two pictures I have of this young man. But here is the tooth. Now this is a panorex, and I'm looking at it as if I were inside the mouth looking out. So this is the left, excuse me, this is the left hand side of his mouth, or the left side of the mouth. Uh, the cuspid is laying right in here, and it comes over and it's just rested right on the central tooth. It's eaten about 2/3 or more of the root. I'm going to show you a lot better x-ray of it, but this was a starting x-ray of this young man. Now, I sent him to a surgeon to get this tooth out, and I told the surgeon the crown of that tooth looked like it was sitting on the root. He didn't think so, but after he saw them and he took it out, he told me, said there was no root left. The crown of that tooth was just sitting right on it. Now, I could not figure any earthly way to bring that tooth in, so that's the only one I think I've ever taken out that we tried to bring in. So I'm going to show you. I handled that tooth with kid gloves. The nerve is still alive in it. As the tooth is resorbed away, it do uh, doesn't do away with the blood vessels and the nerves in the tooth. So here's a little closer up, and this is back in 73, 10 of 73, and this cuspid crown is right down here on this root, just sitting on it, and it ate the root away. Now, I've had a lot of permanent teeth run into other permanent teeth and did not resorb them, but in this case it certainly did. Okay, here's the uh, just the models. We had a lot of orthodontics. This is a mild class 2 case on this right side of the mouth, and you can see the impacted cuspid right up in here. In fact, the surgeon said he could have probably taken it out through the floor of the nose a lot easier. Now, when we remove this cuspid tooth up here, we move these teeth on that side of the mouth forward and just push them up into that space and let this first bicuspid serve as a cuspid on that side. That's the, now I just drew it off here. Now you can tell by the way this lateral is setting in here that this cuspid is kind of gone over the top of the lateral, you see. And it ate part of the lateral off, but not a great deal. And so when this tooth is taken out, it was no problem to bring that lateral up and line it up. And we don't show much of the orthodontics in the case. That's just another drawing on the left side. And you can see where that cuspid was laying over the lateral tooth, and it absorbed part of it, but not a great deal. But boy, it cut the central right off. Okay, let me go back and see if I know. And on the lower arch, nothing unusual. We just did this, and this was back in the good old days when we had to put bands on everything, and God, that was a touchy job. I tried to push a band on this tooth when I knew the root was just really short up here, and I was really afraid that the tooth would just get knocked out, but it held on pretty good during the treatment, and as far as I know, the young man still has the tooth. I haven't heard any different. And taking the bands off was a tedious thing. Boy, I clipped that one and I got it off there with as little effort, as little force on that tooth as I could possibly do. So we don't show the orthodontics. We've done a lot of that and everything. So now we have started moving these teeth up, and we'll close these spaces and just bring it. But you can see the palate going up and kind of turning over this way. So we're going to have a midline that's kind of off in the case and finishing it out. But what I wanted to show you was and this Panorex, you just can't see much in there. You can kind of see the gap in the area. And I'll show some more here in a few minutes to show you where it was. So we went ahead and finished it up, and we'll try to close that space. We are closing on both sides over there. We got a gap over here too, and here. When we get through, it looks pretty good. Be off just a little bit. Your midline, you can't hardly help do that. This is a pretty bad picture, but this was back in the days when you had to take pictures and send them off. All right, here's a much better picture, just an individual x-ray we took of that. And here you can see the outline of the lateral up above here. So it didn't just cut the lateral completely off. The lateral is kind of laying down here, but part of it is eaten away. And the cuspid just came in right on top of the central and ate every bit of the central. I see no evidence of that central tooth up above or under the tooth in any way. So this is just some stuff about resorption. That's the last video I've got on this, but this is will tell you that permanent teeth do resorb other permanent teeth at different times, but it's hard to make a rule in there. They violate